Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us for NBA action on 2K Sports. Our game tonight featuring the Chicago Bulls as they go up against the San Antonio Spurs. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Mike Fratello. And we've got David Aldridge joining us from the sidelines. For the teams, Mike, at this portion of the season that are struggling, is this the point of the year where you start thinking about making some trades, or is that a constant thought on coaches' minds and on your general manager's mind?
That's mostly up to the front office to keep that line of communication open between staff and front office. But as a coach, you look inward, constantly thinking of ways to turn things around with the group you have.
A lot of things to consider, aren't there? I mean, from playing time to contracts coming up and just a myriad of issues.
You always wish you could have that MVP on your roster, but when you look and he's not there, you make do with what you have. When you face Jordan, you put so much focus on MJ that it creates openings for other guys.
Johnson, the pass to Royal. Back to Johnson. Pass to Robinson. Shoots over Cartwright. Robinson misses. It's Jordan on the wing. He's guarded by Cummings. Cartwright, and foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
First personal foul.
That's on David Robinson.
Using his size to his advantage. Like seeing Cartwright force the issue and get the whistle.
The Bulls shooting their first free throws of the game. Good on the second free throw.
Well, Bill Cartwright, to me, has all the tools he needs to be a real force at his position. A big frame, long arms, good intelligence and toughness. He can do a lot for you down low.
Offensive rebound. Here's Cummings. Banked in off the glass.
This is what he brings to your team. The ability to turn misses into makes. Pile up second chance points.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. Armstrong against Johnson. Outside Robinson. With the putback. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Cummings got his second bucket of the game to go.
He is truly one of the outstanding offensive rebounders in the game. Terry Cummings, excellent at reading where shots are coming off and then pursuing the pump.
Here's Royal, coming in off a 10-point performance last game out. Cummings against Grant. Cummings in the post. Back to Johnson. Pass to Cummings. Spurs working the ball around now. Passes it to Royal. To the right side. And stolen by Jordan. Here's Armstrong. Here's Pippen. Scored the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
This is how active Pippen is on the glass. Refuses to give up on plays.
Cummings with a screen on Armstrong. And the pass to Robinson. Here's Bardo. Oh, trying for it. And stolen by Jordan. To the middle. Cartwright gets the bucket.
And offensively, that's where Cartwright is at his best, working on the interior.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Kings check in for Cartwright. Williams comes in for Horace Grant. Hobson's checked in for Jordan, and Hodges subbed in for Armstrong. Now about 3 minutes gone in the first quarter. Pass to Carr. Here's Bardo. Right side, Green. Pass to Bardo. Just 5 to shoot. They get it again. Massenberg. Got a piece of it. Tries yet again. Tough break there. Shot after shot. They couldn't get anything to fall. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Hobson passes to King. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Well, I love to see King use his big body like that. Establishing himself inside, that's the way to do his work.
That was the 2K drive, as that move deserved another look.
He made that drive look easy, but that had a high degree of difficulty.
Here's Bardo. You saw him with 10 points last game.
First personal foul. First team foul.
.104 left in the first quarter. They get a hand on it, and it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here. And a moment here to see the standings for the Eastern Conference. And you know, guys, some interesting stories have unfolded here as we move through the middle of the season. You look at Chicago, holding on to second spot in the conference. A great season for them so far. San Antonio making a switch here. There's a minute left to play in the first quarter. Massenberg, the pass to Reed. Just 4 to shoot. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. And it's King with the rebound. Chicago leading by 3. They're looking really strong offensively, Mike.
Terrific momentum. Let's see if they can keep it up.
That'll be the key. Tries again. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Second team.
Being left-handed like King, it can throw defenders off. You just don't see a ton of that.
The Bulls shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
At the line for 2.
And he can't get the first one. And he's good on the second.
The 6th overall pick in the 1989 draft. Stacey King is a very talented big man.
Reed the pass to Bardo. Here's Massenberg. He's guarded by Williams. Passes it to Massenberg. To the wing right side. Carr the pass to Petrie. Here's Bardo. Again the miss by the Spurs. Pippen with it. There's the pass to Hobson. From 20 feet out. Oh, good on that one.
Got some space in the mid-range, but wasn't able to convert. Still, not a bad chance for him.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. It's the Bulls. They're up by 4. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And if you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter in this one. And a look now at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Bulls. Back to Jordan. Grant trying to break free. Robinson pulls it in. Spurs trail by 4. Down low. And finished off by Robinson.
I like the pass there from Carr. Outstanding job scanning the floor and finding his open teammate.
Here's Jordan. And that one goes long. Spurs shooting 31%, not looking sharp offensively to say the least. Here's Cummings. Can't tie it up as that one misses. Jordan finds Williams. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Strong move in there by Jordan to draw the contact.
Bulls shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. Chicago making a switch here. Cartwright's checked in. And San Antonio also making a switch. Green, he's checked in for Robinson. And both free throws good for Jordan.
The defense keeps fouling him, and he's making them pay for it.
Looking at the last game for San Antonio, it was a win against Minnesota.
And winning on the road is easier said than done, but the way they capitalized on offense especially stood out to me.
They knew their game plan going into that one and followed it through to a T. Superb work all around.
Now here's Cummings. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis. Some solid defense from Grant. And so Jordan will bring it out for Chicago. They lead by 4, coming into this having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
Yeah, I think they've got to be thankful and feel fortunate for the result. They didn't play their best in that one, but still won by a decent margin, so chalk it up and move on.
Yeah, I saw no real sense of urgency on their part. They felt they had the game under control, and in many ways, obviously they did.
And stolen by Jordan. Kicks it to Armstrong. It's stolen by Johnson. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And what a strong take that was, just going right at the bigger defender.
Finishes like that demonstrate confidence and should, in turn, improve his after that bucket.
Here's Jordan. Pass to Cartwright. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Jordan. Jordan's got 3 assists tonight. Spurs trail by 4. Now here's Johnson. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Pass to Royal. Unable to get that one. And it's Chicago the other way. On the wing, Jordan. Carr covering. A drive by Jordan. Here's Cartwright. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Look at the big man fooling the defense. Cartwright putting his defender off balance with the pump fake.
He's made 1 and missed 1 so far in the game. And the Bulls with some changes. Pippen comes in for Grant, and Hobson's subbed in for Jordan. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Out to the wing. Now here's Reed. Defense right on him. Passes to Petrie. Shot clock at 6. Here's Bardo. Goes up on the high post. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And that was a foul. No question about it.
He deserved to go to the line after that hit.
Kings checked in for the Bulls. That one is no good. Chicago leading by 4. To the paint. San Antonio with the rebound. Massenberg's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Petrie the pass to Reed. And here's Carr. Here's Bardo. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
He's got to be more selective than that. Totally forced it.
Hard to understand why he decided to gamble the whole possession on that shot.
And a miss there on the triple. Spurs trail by 4. From the arc. Rebound by Armstrong. And the action on hold as it appears there's been an injury. Yep, he's definitely in a bad way out there right now. Tough to see.
Always hard to see a guy go down. I mean, you just hope it's not as bad as it appears it could be.
At least we know he's going to get expert care. So hopefully they can mitigate the damage.
Chicago making some changes. Horace Grant, he's checked in for King. And Hodges subbed in for Armstrong. San Antonio making a switch here. Robinson's checked in. Chicago leading by 4. Pippen outside. Hodges the pass to Hobson. Robinson with the block. There's a minute left in the first half of the game. Here's Reed. Again, the miss by the Spurs. And Chicago shooting just 33%, struggling to get good looks. Pippen, the pass to Hobson. Rebounded by the Spurs. And Mike, they have a chance to go 2 for 1 here.
You just need to get a shot off relatively quickly.
Robinson on the wing. Reed the pass to Bardo. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. The jump hook. San Antonio again missing. And so it's Pippen with it. He brings it up for the Bulls. They've only allowed 5 points in the quarter. Here's Hobson. The shot's good on the assist by Pippen. Hobson's got the lead up to 6 now for the Bulls.
Well, Pippen has an excellent sense for how the play is unfolding and doesn't have much trouble finding those open shooters.
And so it's Chicago with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. A look at the field goal percentage numbers tells the story of what tough defense they're playing today. Right back after this break. And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. Bill Cartwright with a strong contribution so far in this one.
You know, his stats may not scream at you, but that's not telling the whole story of his contributions.
Well, he makes a real commitment to fulfilling the responsibilities of his role. That's what this team needs from him.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. Moment here now for an injury report.
Well, guys, I was able to talk with the head athletic trainer of the Bulls. He's getting looked at now for what the team is saying is a collapsed lung. Obviously something that is very serious and something they don't take lightly. And if he misses a lot of games, it will obviously be a big blow to their chances of winning it all this year.
David, thanks for the new info on his status. And Clark, I know we've all been wishing him a very speedy recovery.
Most definitely. Injuries are still such an unfortunate reality of the game, and we know they're going to happen, but they're never pleasant when they do.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Well, on the floor and in recovery, it's all about taking care of yourself. I'm sure he's been doing just that.
Here's Pippen. David Robinson making his last shot. To the left wing. Tries it from 19. With the second effort. Armstrong gets the rebound.
He usually knocks those looks down with ease, guys. Defense got very fortunate there as they gave him way too much room to get that one off.
Here's Bardo. And there's the pass to Robinson. Over Armstrong. Robinson can't get that one to fall. Chicago leading by 4. Outside Jordan. Pass to Kirk. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. Green is checked in for the Spurs.
Sidney Green.
Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Here's Johnson. Pass to Cummings. Fades back. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. And Chicago shooting 32% overall right now, not one of their better showings. Here's Jordan. Here's Cartwright. Good, and it's Jordan picking up the assist. Cartwright's got 8 points.
At the last possible moment, he changed out of the shot and found the open man. Good decision.
There's the screen. Johnson kicks to Green. Here's Bardo. Pass to Green. Now here's Cummings. He's covered by Grant. Here's Royal. He can't get it to go. Nice D from Pippen. Jordan with it. Now Green defending. Here's Cartwright. He drains it from the right block. And now an 8-point Bulls lead. So it's the Spurs now. It's off to Boston for him after this game as they take on the Celtics. That'll be the third game of this 3-game road trip. Here's Cummings. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It goes on Horace Grant.
Terry Cummings, a contemporary of mine, possesses a combination of power and movement that's unique. Really gives him an edge on most nights.
So for the Bulls, Williams is checked in for Cartwright. Hobson comes in for Jordan. And Hodges subbed in for B.J. Armstrong. Hobson passes to Pippen. Here is Hodges. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. They get it back. Williams. And the Bulls tack on 2 more.
There's that rebounding that Scott Williams is known for. I love seeing him go after the offensive glass like that.
Here's Johnson. And some very quick points for him on that possession. Johnson's got his second bucket of the night.
Excellent vision on display, dropping a dime to set up his teammate.
Here's Pippen. Here's Grant. Green with the rebound.
That was tough to watch. He takes it all the way to the cup and just can't finish the job.
Johnson, the pass to Green. And Green slams it in.
So tough to stop him on his way to the rack.
It is. Love the casual style on that bucket.
An important basket in a tight ball game.
Here's Hobson. The pass to Williams. Here's Hobson, who's guarded by Johnson. Feeds it to Grant. Yes, that goes in.
Grant inside, really willing to fight for his territory. Going hard against the defensive contact to get the finish. Was not quite set, and when there's a doubt, I think the refs will err towards calling the blocking foul, which I agree with.
As they should. You want to reward players in attack mode.
.46 seconds left in the third quarter. Pass to Carr. Johnson surveying the floor. Pass to Carr. Just 5 on the clock. Johnson, the pass to Carr. A 3-pointer off the mark. Chicago leading by 6. Here's Pippen. And it's Pippen slamming it down.
You know, Pippen doing a nice job recognizing where the lane was on that fast break.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. And the first one at the line is good.
Avery Johnson taking 2 shots.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. Here's Hobson. Carr covering. Inside. Here's Williams. And he banks in the layup. Williams has got the lead up to 9 now for the Bulls.
Tough task for defenders. Williams utilizing his size inside.
And so it's Chicago in control with a 9-point lead to end the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And we'll be right back after this. And this is it. Glad to have you along for this 4th and final quarter. Spurs trail by 9. Here's Royal. And here's Carr. And he goes in for the dunk.
Easy buckets like that. Just what the doctor ordered to get them back into this ball game.
They need something to light that fire, and that, you're right, may be it.
Yeah, right to the rim and left nothing to chance with the dunk.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Pippen's so creative at drawing fouls. Just baits the defenders into fouling him so he can get to the line.
Guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for Chicago? Free throw good from Pippen. The Spurs making a switch here. Cummings is checked in. That one misses.
Points, assists, rebounds, defense. Scottie Pippen gives your team all of that. Every team in the league wants a guy like him.
Here's Royal. Passes it to Carr. Now here is Robinson. Here's Armstrong. It's tipped. Here's Royal. The pass to Bardo. To the inside. That is good. And the Bulls' lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Carr.
Fantastic work by Carr. Getting the ball in a good spot and going into attack mode.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Guys, during that last break, I heard Phil Jackson as he talked with the team. He said, keep grinding. We're in good shape. Things aren't always going to go perfectly. Don't let that slow you down. Let's just stick to what got us here. Kevin, we'll see if they can build on this lead.
Okay, David, thanks. Now, here's Pippen. Jordan outside. Armstrong passes to Jordan. The shot from the low post is good. And the Bulls lead by 8.
That's Armstrong playing his main role, distributor.
We've gone about a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. Here's Royal. Pass to Bardo. The putback, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Well, I love Robinson's motor. He's somebody that refuses to quit on the offensive glass.
Armstrong dishes to Jordan. Pass to Cartwright. That drops and it comes off an assist from Jordan. Jordan's got 6 assists in the game.
Well, we know he's got great peripheral and court vision, and he's passing the ball tonight extremely well.
Yeah, he's keeping everyone involved and making life much easier for his teammates.
Now, here is Robinson. Shoots over Cartwright. Robinson misses. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Jordan. And he can't extend the lead to double digits.
I love how he challenged the shot. That takes some guts near the hoop.
Passes to Cummings. Now the pass to Royal. 6 on the shot clock. Spurs passing it around. And the shot is good. The Chicago lead has been cut down now to just 6 on the basket from Terry Cummings.
Soft, puffy interior D, and they've exploited it.
Jordan passes to Armstrong. Here's Cartwright. He gets that one.
Unrelenting on the boards. Cartwright using that strength and size to get those second shot points.
San Antonio calls timeout. They're trailing by 8. 1:58 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Horace Grant, he's checked in for Williams. And San Antonio with the change here, too. Johnson's checked in. We've got 1:55 left in the fourth quarter. Cummings kicks to Johnson. Pass to Bardo. The feed now to Robinson. Can't cash in from close range. Well, Clark, they might want to milk the clock here.
Great time to slow it down and get a good shot.
Jordan passes to Armstrong. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
And a bit of a shooting slump here. I mean, he can't seem to get anything going.
As a coach, this is when you want to draw up something that gets him an easy look at the rim, or at least a chance to go to the line.
Now here's Cummings. Good D by Jordan. .104 left here in the fourth quarter. Stolen by Robinson. Now Johnson. Stolen by Pippen. Jumps up. And it's Pippen with the jam.
At this point, it's looking like it's over. Time is winding down, and this is going to be a win for the Bulls.
Hey, Coach, they were laser focused out there today, playing hard, doing the things that it took to get the win, get ahead, and check the box.
Yeah, they put in the work, and all that sweat is going to pay off with the W.
And you like wins like that the most, don't you? And all that hard work you put in, right? My goodness.
Yep.
And so the hard work and effort paying off tonight, putting another win in the books. That'll be win number 27. And a great team effort tonight, helped in large part with contributions, and the nice night it ended up being for Jordan.
This guy caused havoc on the defensive end, piling up the steals.
The dish now to Johnson. Pass to Bardo. Passes it to Roy. Here's Bardo. To the paint. 5 to shoot. Oh, count that one.
You know, passes like that go a long way. Terrific teamwork.
I'm glad we got a chance to check out that fantastic drive one more time.
That's the kind of play that can start a run. He knows a little momentum can get them back even.
There's 31 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Jordan looking around. From down in the low post, it goes. Jordan's got the lead up to 10 now for Chicago.
I think they've simply run out of time. Not enough time left for them to get all the way back.
Yeah, hard pressed to come back at this point.
The pass to Roy. Over to the wing. Here's Bardo. No good on the triple. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. Fueled by the energy in this arena, they were able, Clark, to take control of this one.
Yep, you always want to show out in front of the home crowd, and they did not disappoint.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Mike Fratello, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, and our entire 2K crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for tuning in. So long and good night, everyone.